Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about 5 fragrances that I absolutely do not touch anymore. These fragrances, you might know them because based on their popularity, and some others you just don't, and that's fine. I'm going to explain them for you a little bit, and we'll just do this perfectly fine. So the first one on my list is Hugo Boss Tonic. Why am I going to explain this? Well, this one has a pretty big dent on it. And this was probably one of my first fragrances I've ever had when I started collecting. So the top notes for this, middle notes, and the base notes are going to be apple, bitter orange, grapefruit, lemon, middle ginger, cinnamon, geranium, clove, and base notes, woodsy notes, vetiver. So this is a fragrance I just really don't grab anymore. We're just going to smell it. But I just really don't grab for this. This has been sitting since I've had my first fragrance in my collection. This just kind of serves as a memory for me. More than anything. I really don't wear it. Yeah, so it's very... This kind of falls into sadly category. But it's kind of sadly greenly category. But it's just... There's something cologne-like about this. And I'm not sure if it's the cinnamon or the clove that kind of off-puts me. But this is like that sadly greenly category. Now, am I going to say it's a clone of this? Most definitely not. But does it fall into that family? Yes, most definitely. But this is why it sits. It's just, I just admire it in my collection. And this is the first fragrance my girlfriend got me when we started dating. And yeah, so it's definitely a memory for me in my collection. But I just don't touch it anymore. Number 2 in my collection. This is going to be the House of Dua. But we're going to look for the originals of this fragrance. And this is going to be Side Effects by Initio. So this is by the Dua Collateral Damage. The juice is dark for a reason. And the dent is small for a reason. I just don't reach out to this because I fell in love with something a little bit more greater besides this fragrance. And it's a fragrance called Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. It kind of falls into the same family as this, which means like boozy, fruits. That's what Blonde Amber does. But this doesn't have any fruits. You get rum, tobacco, cinnamon, saffron, sandalwood, and Hidion. I just don't dig for this fragrance a lot anymore because I fell in love with Blonde Amber. And now it just kind of sits. It is going to be for sale. If anybody's interested in this, I'll give you a really solid price on this. If you subscribe, I'll definitely give you a good price on this. And the rum here is very prominent with the cinnamon. It kind of falls into the category of 1 million. But this is very sexy. If a woman can wear this, ooh, really nice. But a guy can wear this too. I think it's evenly unisex right in the middle. But if you like cinnamon and rum, this is going to be for you. If you're an alcoholic, yeah, this is probably going to be for you. Very nice. It's smooth. It's definitely one of those that kind of like entice you in. It's one of those aphrodisiac scents, the ones that pull you in and make you get seduced. It's definitely one of those. But again, I fell in love with Blonde Amber, so this kind of sits on my shelf for sure. Not a dislike again, but it just kind of sits because I fell in love with other things. Rip to Side Effect. Number 3. This is where the beef is going to start, but the love of this fragrance is actually coming back for me. This is going to be by the House of Mont Blanc. And this is going to be Explore. So this is going to be a clone of Creed Aventus by Creed, obviously. But a lot of people say that this is the best clone of Creed Aventus. But in my opinion, it's a good substitute for it. The thing that you get from Creed Aventus is that it's a lot smoother. Creed Aventus is a lot more natural. This is kind of like cologne-like again when you get with these designer houses. It's kind of like cologne-like. Now, is it smooth? I think it's just musky in my opinion. It's clean and musky. But I think what's making this give like a pineapple vibe is the bergamot with the clary sage. Because the clary sage gives you that brightness. And the bergamot kind of gives you that bright pineapple type of toughness, if that makes any sense. My girlfriend absolutely loves this scent. And it's a very, very good cheap fragrance that you can find and be an all winter beater type of fragrance, all season, sorry. But I fell out of love in it for a very, very long time, because once I smelled this, I realized like it smells a lot familiar to other things out there that smell like pineapple, like Creed Aventus, but I was like, I didn't want to smell like everybody else. And you'll realize with these next fragrances, it's kind of like that same vibe too. But I'm growing to love this again because the compliments that you pull from this, and when you're in the high heat, this pulls very, very well. So that's why I'm falling back in love with it. But again, this just collects shade because of the fact that I fell in love with other things. This is kind of just generic. I know people are going to throw hands in the chat, but let's get it. Number 2, to the last fragrance on my list. This is going to be by the house of Carolina Herrera, and this is going to be Bad Boy. This is going to be the Travel Spray, the EDT. And I love this fragrance, but the problem with this fragrance is that everybody wears it so much. So you have people like my dad that wears this, my uncle wears this, the people my generation wear this, younger people wear this. Everybody's wearing this. This has become the family of Dior Sauvage. And it's for good reasons, because it gets compliments. This is peppery, chocolatey. It's not bad, but at the end of the day, everybody wears this, and this is what kind of makes me step away from it. Because when you get into popular fragrances, the worst memory you want to have on somebody, especially as a collector, is my dad smells like this, or I've smelled this before somewhere. My ex-boyfriend, ooh, big L. Big L you took with that. Again, not a bad scent, but there's better fragrances out there for sure. So if you're trying to smell like your dad, or you're trying to smell like an ex-boyfriend, take the L, go ahead and buy this. But for me, big pass. Last but not least, y'all probably guessed it, this is going to be by the house of Versace. And I put a big dent on this because this was probably one of my first scents I ever wore before, after I got my Hugo Boss tonic bottle. I started with this, Versace Eros, and everyone has, because it's very, very popular update, and it just grabs people by the nose. So mint, green apple, lemon. Middle notes are tonka bean, ambrox, and geranium, and the base notes are Virginia cedar, Atlas cedar, vetiver, oak moss, and Madagascar vanilla. This gets so much love, so much appreciation through the community, but at the end of the day, it's overplayed, bro. I'm not trying to smell like your ex-boyfriend from high school. He used to wear this at school. The mint here is very prominent, and the green apple here is very prominent. It's not a bad scent if you like mint and vanilla fragrance. But to me, if my goal is to smell like everybody else, this is probably going to be a hard pass for me. But there is a remedy for this. If you do not want to smell like this, and you want to smell different, try Amouage Enclave. You get the same vibe that you get from Eros, except from the refreshing mint, you get a very sweet spearmint. And it's a really good remedy that separates you from being in the Eros jerk-off circle. I'm just going to say it like that. That's going to be it for today's video. That was really, really quick. I wanted to state those remedies for this. For Explorer, if you do not want to smell like Explorer, go for a Ventus cologne. Nobody's wearing a Ventus cologne. Definitely give it a shot. Remedies for this, I would probably recommend Acento by Xerjoff. That's what's going to separate you from this. Side effects, go with Blonde Amber or Dates Delight by the House of Oud. Blonde Amber by Clive Christian or Dates Delight by the House of Oud. This, if you're trying to separate yourself from the crowd, Sadly is pretty popular. Not a lot of people are going to be wearing it, and Greenlee is pretty popular too. But it's not going to be as popular as this fragrance, because most designer fragrances, everybody has them. So Greenlee and Sadly by Parfums d'Amour, they're going to separate you from this category. Eros, as we described, again, Amouage Enclave. And then Bad Boy, I would probably recommend you something a little bit more peppery. I'm trying to figure out if peppery. Blue Talisman is solid to replace this bad boy. Try Blue Talisman. You might really, really like it. And Cosmic Pepper by Mancera will definitely replace this, because this is just a peppery chocolate fragrance. But if you get Cosmic Pepper by Mancera, it will fall into that same category of peppery masculine fragrance for sure. That's going to be it for today's video. Let me know below what you guys think about these fragrances. And let's throw beef in the chat. I love you guys so, so, so much. And you already know, God loves you too. Peace out.